Good morning. Are you Labrian Celestine?
Yes.
Mr. Celestine, in that case, you are charged with the third-degree felony offense of deadly conduct, discharging a firearm, from March 22nd of 2024. And how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
And it looks like the agreement that you've reached is the same as what was in the other case that we're going to talk about today, which is 7-year deferred probation, a $500 fine, and you would be required to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Celestine's not competent? All right, then I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily, find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of that plea. So I have received in cause number 24, DCCR 1303, the pre-sentence report. You had already were here, entered a plea of guilty to deadly conduct, discharging a firearm in that case. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that pre-sentence report? And then I also received a number of letters of support for Mr. Celestine, and has everyone had an opportunity to review those as well?
Yeah.
Are there any additions or corrections to that pre-sentence report?
None for the defense.
None for the state judge, other than to respectfully request of the court that this obviously very young individual who's committed a first-degree felony right out of the gate be at the very least sentenced to ISF as a condition. I'm sorry, third degree.
2 third degrees. How old are you?
19.
19 years old. And you're shooting around like it's the Wild West, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah? Something made a note of here. I went through all of these letters. And all of these letters of support about you talk about what a good kid you are. And that here's one I circled. And it says, LeBrian's a positive role model for his nephew. Do you think you're a positive role model for anyone at this point?
Not at this moment.
Not at this moment. Is that what you want him to grow up and do? And be in here shackled up like you are? What's all this? What's all these tattoos have to do with?
Just like tattoos.
Yeah?
Right.
You think getting that all over your neck is going to help you get a job, or do you think it's going to hurt you when you're trying to get a job? It would hurt you.
Well, what I'm doing right now, that's what I was planning on doing. Well, not just he's doing course, y'all. It's like a family business. I planned on doing that.
Right? Do you think it makes people comfortable if you show up and look like that in their homes? And look, I have a tattoo. Do you see it? Is it all over here? What if that pool company falls through? What if you need another job? Right? You got to think about those things.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do in each of your cases. I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of guilty freely and voluntarily. In each case, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, in each case, in cause number 24, DCCR 1303, defer all proceedings, place you on probation for a period of 7 years. That's the agreement that you made with the district attorney. I'm going to order you pay that $500 fine and follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. And I'm going to get to those rules and conditions in just a minute. I'm also going to find inclusion evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm also going to follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney. Defer all proceedings and place you on probation for 7 years. You're also ordered to pay a $500 fine in that case and follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. One of the conditions of probation in these cases, in each of them, is that you're going to enter and successfully complete the cognitive track of the ISF program. So that's a 90-day program that is in custody. So you're going to go from the jail to that program. And it is designed to help you make better decisions. All right? You need to take advantage of it. You're still young. Today's opportunity is an opportunity of a lifetime for you because you don't have a felony conviction on your record. There are people who will not let you go to your house, regardless of who you're working for, if you are a convicted felon. Do you understand? So even if it's a family business, you might not be able to work for that business if you have a felony conviction. So if you do everything that you're supposed to while you're on this probation, then you will, at the end of the probation, both of these cases will be dismissed, and you will never have a felony conviction on your record. The other side to that in each of these cases is if you violate the probation, you're right back here in court, and you could be sentenced to, be convicted, obviously, in both cases, and sent to prison for up to 10 years in each case. Do you understand? A condition of your probation in each of these cases also is that you are not allowed to have any type of firearm. Do you understand? Not on your person, not in your car, not at your home. Period. No firearm. Do you understand? I'm going to hand you the trial court certification in each of your cases that shows these were agreements that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. Probation will go over some paperwork before they take you back today, and then you'll go to ISF hopefully very soon. When you get out, make sure you go straight to probation, do everything you're supposed to, otherwise you'll be going to prison. Okay, you can go back with the bailiff.
What a roller coaster of justice we just witnessed. Let's unpack what really happened here, because this case is a perfect example of how courtroom mercy can also be a stern warning in disguise. At just 19, this defendant stood before the court facing a third-degree felony for discharging a firearm. That's not a small slip-up. It's a life-altering mistake. The judge could have easily sentenced him to years behind bars, but instead, she extended something most defendants never get: a 7-year deferred probation. In simple terms, this means he's being handed an invisible clock. 7 years to prove he can live responsibly. If he succeeds, the felony disappears. But if he fails, that clock resets straight into prison time. Throughout the hearing, the judge's tone balanced empathy with authority. When she said, "You're 19 years old and shooting around like it's the Wild West," that wasn't just frustration. It was a wake-up call to a generation that often underestimates the power and permanence of their actions. Her words cut deep because they weren't about punishment. They were about accountability. She wasn't just judging his past. She was challenging his future. Let's talk about that tattoo conversation. Many might see it as irrelevant, but it wasn't. The judge was testing mindset. She wanted to know if he understood how every decision, appearance, behavior, attitude affects opportunity. Because in the real world, people judge what they see before they ever hear what you've changed inside. Her question, "Do you think getting that all over your neck will help you get a job?" wasn't criticism. It was tough love. And then came the moment that defined this entire hearing. The ISF program, 90 days in custody, designed to reshape his thinking. It's not just jail, it's structured rehabilitation. That's rare in felony cases and shows this judge believes in second chances, but only if they're earned. It's a last stop before the system gives up on you completely. The emotional contrast in this hearing was striking. On one side, letters of support painting him as a good kid and a role model. On the other, the harsh reality that good intentions mean nothing without responsible actions. That conflict, that tension between who he was and who he could be is what made this case so powerful. Now, here's the kicker. If he completes probation without a single violation, this entire felony vanishes. He walks away with no criminal record. But any slip-up, any violation, and he's facing up to 10 years behind bars. This is what the justice system calls a conditional redemption. The deal is clear. Change your life or lose your freedom. So, what do you think? Did the judge go too easy, or was this the perfect balance of justice and mercy?